Hello, this is Dan Explains, and I'm Dan. A story that came out a few weeks ago, at least as of this recording, was that doctors at NYU Medical Center transplanted a heart from a pig into a human who was dying and was ineligible for a human heart transplant. This stunning feat was accomplished through the genetic engineering of pigs to make them more human on a molecular level. Is this immoral? Let me explain. Before I start, I'm not going to go into the morality of the genetic engineering itself. I covered that in another video. Link in the description. I think the first question most people will be thinking when they hear about this is, why a pig? The older among us may remember back in the 80s when doctors transplanted a baboon heart into a baby. The chances of it working were a long shot, and yeah, they were right. 20 days later, the baby's body rejected the heart and she died. Now, I suppose it would make sense if we were going to transplant organs from an animal into a human, that we'd use the ones that have the most in common with us genetically speaking. There are a lot of unseen hurdles here though. Of course, there are the ethics of it. Monkeys and apes are pretty intelligent, so many people don't like the idea of them being kept for organ harvesting. Although, in the regions where they are found, they are often hunted for food. They also have viruses that have yet to jump to the human populations. So, we might inadvertently create a new HIV-like pandemic. Anyway, that aside, on a molecular level and a physiological level, they aren't as similar as they seem. The viruses I just mentioned, which are usually adenoviruses like HIV, often get incorporated into the animal's genome by infecting its germ cells, which are the cells that come together to make an embryo. This often causes the cells of their offspring to express some of these viral proteins on their surface. This usually isn't a big deal because your own immune system learns what proteins are self and doesn't attack them. However, this can cause large issues when it comes to organ rejection when transplanting organs across species, since the immune system will see these foreign proteins as if they were part of the virus they originated from. This is pretty much the case for all species as well. The other hurdle is the physiological one. How similar are the organs in an animal considering its form and function? Monkeys are usually smaller than us, for instance, so their hearts never grow as large as ours. Some apes have the opposite issue, where their organs grow too large. So, there isn't any great advantage to using primates. This is where pigs come in. For some oddball reason, pigs are very similar to humans on a physiological level. In fact, some pig parts are often already used to replace small parts in humans, where the immune system won't be an issue, like the cornea and heart valves. The heart valves are stripped of their living tissue, of course. Now, I know it seems like pigs should be pretty different. They aren't bipedal like we are, and their head and neck are obviously shaped totally different. However, their internal organs are similar in size and shape and function to our own, as long as you aren't talking about organs from a 1,000-pound meat hog anyway. The other pesky issue is how different they are on a molecular level. So, over the last couple of decades, scientists have been engineering pigs to match us more closely on a molecular level. So, is this moral? I'm not going to go into too many details of which genes they edited, but like I mentioned earlier, pigs have different proteins on the surface of their cells, which cause their organs to be rejected by our immune system. What the scientists did is to delete the genes from the pig's genome that code for these proteins. So no, they don't take some genes from humans and put them in pigs. They just deleted the biggest obstacles for our immune system. They've been doing this for a while, and it doesn't have any detrimental effects on the health of the pigs, or the function of their organs. The pigs are still edible as well. The upshot here is, there aren't any weird half-pig, half-human hybrids. If that were the case, then this certainly would be immoral. The patient who received the heart still needs to take immunosuppressants, like any transplantation does. But in the future, it may be possible to tailor a pig to the patient, so even that isn't needed. That sort of modification will require altering the genes of the pig to make them closer to the individual who needs the organ. Specifically, the major histocompatibility complex, also known as MHC. Again, I won't go into the details because, well, It's a complex system used by our immune system. You can't just delete it like is possible with blood types, because it could cause an infection to run rampant while going unnoticed by our immune system. Unlike blood types, there are thousands of possible combinations with the MHC. This is why bone marrow transplants are so hard to find, since bone marrow makes immune cells. You need to find a person with a matching MHC, or the new immune system you get will attack your own body. So, you have to make it match the patient. I think the morality of this is going to be dependent mostly on your intention, or the intention of the doctors who are doing this anyway. Someone isn't going to make a pig-human hybrid by accident like it's some sort of movie. That isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card by any means. Altering the pig's MHC doesn't change the form of the pig at all. It just makes one function compatible with the same function in a human. The pig can still mate and produce offspring with other regular pigs, and the offspring will still be fully functional piglets, as God intended. I think the line is crossed when you start changing the form of the pig, internally or externally, to be more human. Like, let's say someone needs a new voice box, so you engineer a pig to have a human voice box. That would be a step too far, even if you had good intentions. Luckily, that sort of thing is probably a long way off. So, what the NYU doctors did, transplanting a genetically engineered pig heart into a human, was probably moral. Arguably more moral than regular heart transplantation from human to human. Most people are unaware, but for some organs, like the heart, the donor needs to still be alive. It's not like you can just take a heart from a dead person and pop it into a cooler and zap it back to beating in the recipient. That only works in the movies. Usually, the best donors are brain dead, but people have come back from so-called brain death before. They will also use people with brain function described as fundamentally incompatible with life, which basically means they have some brain function, but it's not life-sustaining. This is how it works. They get the permission from the family to pull the plug on the donor. Then, they find a compatible recipient for the heart, get them to the hospital, prep them for surgery, pull the plug on the donor, wait for the donor to die, extract the heart, and then take the heart straight to the patient already in the operating table. In recent years, special machines that can keep the heart alive have allowed the donation of hearts from people who died in other, less expected ways. But the complexity makes it difficult and the survival rate is lower. So for now at least, it's more rare. Now some people may object to killing a pig to harvest an organ, but consider that we kill pigs for meat all the time, and the organs that don't end up in pet food get thrown out. Besides, the pig is still edible, so the recipient could have a celebratory feast after the procedure. Well, I mean, as long as it's not a Jew or a Muslim. I wonder if a kosher Jew can receive a non-kosher heart. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. Subscribe to my channel and ding the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Also, please support me on Patreon. Link in the description. The more people who support me, the more time I can dedicate to making videos like this one. So, until next time, have a great week.